Hello and welcome back to Sounds Unheard. My name is Jessie Marino, and today we're going to talk about some specific techniques that I've been using to develop my gestural music, and also talk about some tips and tricks for performance and collaboration. One simple technique I've recently been using is something that I call remapping. When remapping a piece, I use historical pieces as the blueprint or map key, and then sieve different information through this map. Basically, I mine pre-existing resources of the Western classical music canon and assign new meanings to the notational information that's provided by the score. Here's an example of a piece which uses a vocal duet by Orlando de Lassus and remaps it to be a choreography for the face. This is performed by myself and the soprano Jessica Azzotti. For each pitch in the original Lassus piece, I chose a different facial pose. The performers first sing the original song, then silently perform the facial poses in the same rhythm as the notes, and finally they combine the singing and gestures together to show both of the maps superimposed on one another. It's a simple concept, but it's quite effective. I was interested in seeing how we can remap information in such a way that some semblance of the original logic of the piece of music can be gleaned even though the performative materials have been substituted. Try assigning new and experimental musical materials to your favorite pieces of old-timey music and see what the materials themselves do to alter your experience of the original piece. Collaboration. Collaboration for me means that even when one person is in charge, all of the people engaged have agency and are welcome to submit suggestions, alterations, or interpretation. This style of communication and collaboration needs a lot of time. And honestly, these things start to get complicated. So I found a few really practical and useful things to focus on while you're in the mode of collaboration that I'd like to share with you now. So suggestion number one is say yes before you say no. In order to create an atmosphere where people can feel like they have agency, it's really important to always try out any idea that has been offered up. So see how it works in the group. Maybe the idea is great, maybe the idea is not so great, but it offers a different path of research or focus. You don't have to keep every idea, but trying it out gives space and importance to all ideas, at least for long enough to see if it will work for the group and for the piece that you're making together. Suggestion two, failure is not an option, but not in that TV football coach kind of way. As artists, we need to create a different kind of collaborative space where we can be crazily inefficient, to fail and to fail wildly, to follow through on germinating ideas when their end goals are unclear, and to experiment and be playful, to learn how to disagree while still listening to another's point of view. And if we can do these things together in collaborative space, we allow for the individual to think about the well-being, growth, and development of the group. Remember that time is money and speak honestly about your needs. So this is a rather unsexy topic, but has wound up being very necessary to discuss in every single one of my collaborations. We all lead different lives and have different needs that must be met. But remember, your time is worth something. Very rarely will you have a big pocket full of money to give. So being honest and upfront about what's possible with your collaborators is very important. Dealing with finances, publicity, promotion, all of the social media stuff. These are the sorts of tasks that can be divided amongst the group and responsibilities shared equally. It'll help you all out a lot. Forget time is money and address some other needs. When it's time for rehearsal or development periods, forget about the administrative pressures and focus on the people who you are with. What does the group need to better foster communication? Creativity, trust. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a group meal, maybe it's rehearsing that really tricky bit 300 times until it's totally memorized and everyone feels like they've really achieved something. So take stock in what's been missing from the rehearsal process and make that a priority to attend to next. Curiosity will always bring you somewhere interesting. No matter what, there is always something to be learned and taken with you. Having a healthy and active curiosity will give you patience when you need it, bring inspiration when you've reached a dead end, and be a constant source for new material. When you have this kind of curiosity as a foundation for your creative practice, it also makes editing much easier. Throwing ideas away can be extremely difficult, but it's also a requirement in collaboration. So when your sense of curiosity is strong, there are endless paths that you can explore, which makes leaving an idea behind a lot less painful. So finally, I wanted to leave you with a list of really helpful rehearsal techniques to help you get started in your own gestural performance. So my first tip is to video everything. Well, not everything, but use the video camera like you would use a metronome. It's super helpful in getting immediate feedback. So through the lens of a camera, things aren't personal. You can start to clearly see what's similar and what's different between each performer's interpretation just by watching. It will almost definitely highlight something that you didn't see before, which needs to be changed. Doing this early on in the rehearsal process is also highly recommended so that you don't start to practice in bad techniques. Our bodies learn things very slowly and they require lots of repetition. So getting objective feedback from a camera can help you to tailor these performative choices right from the get-go. Remember that everyone's body is different. I sometimes forget that just because I can do a gesture or a pose very quickly or with a kind of sharpness or a specific type of energy doesn't mean that everyone will want to or be able to do it exactly in the same way. So use what you have as your own special offering and look to your fellow performers as unicorns unto themselves. Everyone has a unique trait and style to offer to these works, and making that a feature is crucial to the health of your collaboration and performance. So my last rehearsal tip is to ask for feedback. Especially as a composer-performer, I'm usually on stage trying to perform my piece while simultaneously editing and trying to see and hear what the piece is like and what changes that I'd like to make. This is a lot, so ask for help. You can ask your performer comrades to help you in this process. I often have someone in the group sit in the audience to watch the rehearsals and run-throughs in the same way that a director would in the theater. So during the course of a rehearsal, we all have a chance to sit in the director chair. This also gives everyone in the group the opportunity to present some direct feedback. Inviting your friends to view an open rehearsal will also give you fresh eyes on the piece. So sometimes we're so involved in all of the details and complexities inside the piece that we don't realize that we aren't communicating them to someone who has no idea what the piece is supposed to be about. So grab a friend, ask for their honest opinion, hear their feedback, and then treat them to a beer afterwards. Thank you very much for watching these Sounds Unheard tutorials. I hope that this has given you some inspiration to use all of the things that are around you to make music, including your body. Thanks for watching. Be kind and stay healthy.